sound. Devo Jones with the pick six, Keanu O'Neal with the hard hit, getting the ball back on offense. Watch Julio Jones keep moving the sticks. Calvin Ridley in for the score. We came back, we up four, about to get in. Our victory stance, no coming back. We closing the door. A-T-L blackout. A-T-L blackout.
Welcome to the show today, baby. This is your boy Jimbo Dean, aka Jimbo Slice, aka Jimmy Obama. And you can call me any one of those you want, but please don't call me no damn New Orleans Saints fan. This is Pound for Pound ATL, and we are back, and we are getting ready for week 6. And this is the Minnesota Vikings are coming to town. We're gonna have some coaches shipped out of town. There's some stuff going on, man. What Raheem Morris got going on over there in Flowery Branch, we about to find out what he made of. There's some stuff to talk about, man. Even though we are 0-5, they are our beloved Falcons. It's some stuff to talk about, and me and Mike Dub is going to talk about it today on the show. Big Mike, what is going on, big dog? What's happening, man? How you feeling?
Hey, man, to your point. You know, for an 0-5 team, we definitely have a lot to talk about. So, new blood, Raheem Morris, interim head coach. So, I think this is a good week to make it 1-6. I think last week we just said, hey, the Falcons are just going to find a way to pull out a win. Back against the wall. That's just even I would look at it like this. Even a couple of years before, we were 0-5 now. But you remember when we blew it and we were 5-0?
Yeah, you know? I know it. Yeah,
if you think about that, Dan Quinn has managed to blow it both ways, 5-0 and 0-5. But again, Dan Quinn, we wish you well. And
we do.
And my motto is now, hopefully we can get a win without Dan Quinn. It's a good way to get it started. Raheem Morris, talk to him.
So, man, let's just first and foremost, man, let's go ahead and give a shout out, a quick moment of silence for Vaughn McClure, one of the great Atlanta Falcons reporter for ESPN. He did an outstanding job. Do not get it twisted. And I'm going to give him some credit. Sometimes me and Mike did refer to one of him. He was one of our sources for our shows. And he was a credible source. And he gave us some good stuff to run with. And like I said, man, I gotta give a shout out to him. I mean, rest in peace. One of the greatest reporters is no longer with us anymore. And send the prayers up to him and his family. And I'm just sorry to hear that. This is just a sad story coming out of Atlanta, man. And I know ESPN been doing their thing, for his send off and stuff. And I hope he just rest in peace, man. And man, he was great for us, Mike. What you got? What's your thoughts on it, man? Just a sad story, huh?
Right, man. I completely echo your sentiments on Vaughn McClure. I think his passing for all of us in DBN is definitely unexpected for a lot of us because I think I speak for a lot of us on this channel and for other fellow content creators when we say, like Jimbo said, it's like, man, we went to him for a lot of our day-to-day training camp updates, just team updates, because he had the access to the team that we would crave for. A lot of the information we would just get would be from what he was D. Orlando Ledbetters. So I would definitely put him in that top tier of just titans of people who have covered not just the Atlanta Falcons but sports in general. And you can definitely tell from a lot of his colleagues that he was very well liked, well respected, good person. And like I said, we don't prognosticate on death or anything like that, but we just, like I said, we definitely send our condolences and rest in peace, man. So yeah, definitely RIP to Vaughn.
Rest in peace and appreciate everything you're doing for us, Vaughn, man. It was awesome, big dog. No question about it. All right, man. Let's move on to this thing. Let's get to these Minnesota Vikings, and I mean, it's a lot coming out of Flowery Branch. I read today that Raheem Morris getting them boys mad at practice or something like that. He's pushing their buttons or something like that to get them to amp up a little bit more. But this is my thing right here. There's a certain thing we used to call whiskey spirit down there in the southern part of Georgia, southwest Georgia. We call it whiskey spirit. And what I think the Atlanta Falcons might do is going to come out that second quarter with that whiskey spirit. And then third quarter going to come around, and then they're going to remember who they are. They're going to remember that feeling. They're going to remember that culture. They're going to remember how things used to be, and it's going to sink in, and then it's going to sink on out. And it's really nothing the Atlanta Falcons can do right now to try to save face in my eyes. Raheem Morris, you leave a dirt coat at the helms, good for you. If you see something, fix it. But I think the fixing part and all that stuff, Mike, I think that is over with. I really do believe if you're gonna play for pride, play for pride. Okay, I don't have no problem with that. But you're gonna come out on fire first and second quarter, and then the third and fourth quarter you're gonna filter on out because you're gonna revert back to your old self. And which I think this is how I think this game is gonna go, Mike. So you want to give me your thoughts on this? How you think we're gonna be looking going into this game with Raheem Morris at the helm? What's your thoughts on just going into Game 6, Week 6, with a whole nother head coach, same OC, him and Jeff Albrecht's gonna be splitting the defensive calls again. I don't know. Anyway, just give me your thoughts, man, because I don't know what's going on. I really don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? This week is about chaos. And I'll say whether it's controlled chaos or uncontrolled chaos, it's chaos already, right? So if let's look at the timeline of this week, right? Okay. So Monday officially, Dan Quinn is let go. Kind of going through that process. A lot of players took it tough. We talked about it a lot on our show on Tuesday, so on and so forth. So, okay, Wednesday, somewhat normal day. Thursday, we find out that not only is Marlon Davidson COVID positive, that they basically had to they had to shut everything down at Flowery Branch and get everything virtual, right? And do everything virtual. Even the walkthroughs, the reps, the game plan, everything was done virtual. So that already takes a team that is already kind of on fumes and really just takes the gas out of it. Because I think there was a point on Thursday where we didn't even really know if there was going to be a game or not, right? So,
Right.
So getting the team to Minnesota is a win in itself. So if we want our first win, getting to Minnesota, I would think, without COVID, is our first win. But we do have a football game to play. I think it's a good time. But you know what? I think it's a good time to look into the Vikings. But I think the more I look at this matchup, I look at a team like the Vikings that, I looked at it on paper and I thought that, like, man, it's the Vikings because we think traditionally the Vikings.
Right,
But
right.
I really see a Vikings team that it's kind of like us, very underachieving, two quarterbacks that have the potential that for whatever reason are not able to get over that hump for different reasons. So, definitely a confusing game on paper, though, for sure.
It's totally confusing. Like I said, I'm like the words of Dan Quinn. I'm confused and frustrated. I really don't see. I really don't see. I mean, they are David Cook list, so you know how he did us last year. So that's one positive. He's not playing, so he won't run amok this Sunday. He won't be all over the field looking like Barry Sanders. So that won't happen. Thank God for that. But they still got Thielen, and they have Jefferson, the rookie wide receiver out of LSU. And don't forget, Atlanta Falcon fans, our secondary is still subpar. We're still trying to get there, and we'll see. I mean, I think Tack is out of the game this week. And what Marlon Davidson won't be playing either, right? Due to the COVID or something like that, he won't be
Yeah,
playing.
he
Uh,
definitely won't.
it's just that COVID-19 thing for Marlon Davidson. The little knucklehead to you. I mean, you ain't little. You're a big boy. You're big knucklehead to you. Um, Bad timing, Mike. This was something they could not afford to happen as of a change of coaches, a change of tide. You just weren't ready to have this to happen when Raheem Morris was really trying to get to those guys to get ready for Week 6 because he believed he gonna take it one game at a time, but he's gonna try to win every game on out. And for this to happen at this time, I mean, bad timing kind of set you back. Just when you
I
thought
agree.
you was ready, you get excited to meet with the guys for the first time as the head coach, and boom, you don't do it. You got virtual this, virtual that. You ain't doing this, and you ain't doing that. So,
Right.
I mean, one staff member test positive, so they cleared that out of that. So, like you said, one positive for that. Good win on that. That's a good win. Okay, we'll take that. Now we just got to get ready for. I mean, not too much for Kirk Cousins, because man, child, please, we're not worried about that. And if anybody out there say Kirk Cousins is better than Matt Ryan, you need to go look in the mirror and slap the dog shit out yourself. Can you please do that for me? Thank you very much. All right, on to the next. But Todd Gurley have another big game, big dog. I think Todd Gurley will have another big game. Give me a little information on that defensive line for the Vikings. What one player that's on that defensive line that's I know is Hunter still on? Is he still around? He's still playing, ain't
Yeah.
he? He
So
got injured.
so yeah. So you got Hunter there, but the guy that I was most intrigued about in the offseason was I believe in Ngakwe that they got from Jaguar. So I immediately thought
Right, right.
traditional Vikings defense. And when I look at a lot of their just overall categories, they're actually trending towards the bottom of the league in a lot of key defensive categories. So especially sacks, I believe that they're like maybe 20th or 25th in sacks, right? Which is actually, I mean, it's a couple games in the season, only 5 games, not a huge sample size, but I would expect the Vikings. I would have expected them to easily. They could have easily been a 5-0 team.
Oh,
Nobody would have batted it.
No
Just
question.
because, like I said, they always play good, tough defense. You got Dalvin Cook back there. You got Rudolph at tight end, who always causes matchup problems, right? He is one guy that, regardless of how well they do or how bad they do, you always have to, really account for Rudolph because, Rudolph he's just a football player, right? So,
we don't have problem with tight ends this year. I mean, they've been busting us up, so that's one position to watch out for. Go ahead, Mike.
Definitely. Oh no, definitely. Like, I mean, to your point though, how our ability actually to stop Rudolph will be key to, how we can play Thielen. Because the thing about Thielen that we all know is that Thielen is going to get his targets. I would say that he is one of the most polished receivers in the entire NFL. And here's the thing: if you got him in fantasy football, whether it's PPR or other league formats, you know that he is a surefire bet to get you his projected total. He is probably one of the safest picks, and I will say kind of selfishly that he's a guy that I always pick on my fantasy football team, just because I know that he's going to be a reliable guy. And it's the same thing in this game, right? It's like that he's going to get at least 12 or 13 targets, but it seems like there's nothing that the defense can do to stop him from matching his production. So again, I would say it will be a fun game to see if AJ Terrell can grow up on Adam Thielen, because that's another good one that he gets the card.
That's another good one week after week. Now when they played the Seahawks, they gave them hell until Dalvin Cook went out. I thought they were going. If Dalvin Cook would have stayed in that game, they probably would have beat the Seahawks. It's no question. I felt that. And when he went down there growing, man, the game just kind of started to slip away from him, and Kirk Cousins didn't make it no better. But man, Dalvin Cook was having a first half like no other against Seattle. And they gave him the run for their money. So this team is not folding up the tent. This team is still trying to play and win ball games. And if you think they're gonna come in there and lay down for us just because we lost our coach, you're dead wrong. Okay, they actually coming in to try to take advantage of us after we lost our coach. So yeah, it ain't gonna stop now. This is a professional football team, and they still got professional players over there, but so do we now. Now I'm looking to see who's really finna come. This type of game for the Atlanta Falcons. This type of game, Mike. This is where you see who want to be there and who don't want to be there. These next 11 games is when you find out who want to be an Atlanta Falcon and who don't want to be an Atlanta Falcon. Who's out there actually playing and who's out there actually care, who actually got some pride. This is where you finna start to find this out at. Some people finna start to get exposed on this team and they finna really start to show who they really are. Because you're 0-5, you just lost your coach that you love to death, and now you got this guy Raheem Morris at practice pushing buttons and pissing people off, saying he's trying to make them mad to make them play better. You shouldn't have to do that. You really shouldn't have to do that. That's some high school stuff right there. You need to come. You just don't have to do that, Mike.
Absolutely, too highly paid.
That sounds so silly to me, but that's what one of the players came out and said that Raheem is doing, making them mad so they can play better. Lord have mercy, win. Watch out now. So we finna find out who is who. We finna find out all these years they've been on the team. If they've been on it that long, we finna find out if you really have been that weak link. If you really gave up, we finna find out. And Rich McKay can really get an observation on these players going into the off season. For these 11 games is a lot of games to really realize what we don't need and what we should let go, or or what we should keep. This is a good sample size, like you said, Mike, to really figure out who's going to be a Falcon next year and who's not, because this is going to determine that. This is the 11 games going to determine that. I don't know how Dirk Cutter or Raheem Morris will help that, but it's going to determine that. Can you agree though with me, Mike?
I agree, and I'll take it a step further. I would say that for a lot of these guys, not just will they be Falcons next year, will they even be in the NFL next year? Because here's the thing: you're already on the 32nd ranked defense in the league, right? So it's not like coaches are like, oh my God, he played on the Falcons. We got to pick him up, right? So this is not a good time to put bad tape out there, to be honest with you. And that's why I say that, like, some of these players, to be honest with you, I throw Calvin Ridley out there, right? Like, for a lot of these guys, it takes a lot of these guys back to Little League, because a lot of these guys really haven't lost like that since Little League. Like, I mean,
You're right.
You're Calvin Ridley, you come from Alabama, you play the national championships every year. You're AJ Terrell, you go to Clemson, you're playing for national championships, you play for Westlake High School, you're playing for state titles. You are used to winning. A lot of these guys have never gone 0-5 before. They've never gone 0 whatever before. So to your point, it's not just do you want to be a Falcon, but do you really even still want to play in the NFL? You know, like I said, that's the biggest question this week.
That's a big question. I might do. Let's jump subject real quick, because I want to figure out, do we have any coaches in mind? It's never too early for that, because we are looking for one. And shout out to the Rooney Rule, that extension with the Rooney Rule. Shout out to that. And Arthur Blank said he's going to use that to his full advantage. Now, ain't nothing wrong with that. Go ahead, do what you do, and you do the motherfucker. Okay, let's just bring in the right guy. I'm gonna start it off, Mike, and I'm stuck on this guy until someone else prove me wrong. I'm a Greg Roman. I'm stuck on Greg Roman, the OC over there for the Baltimore Ravens. I really like this guy, and I'm coming off this live show that we did, and somebody in the chat used the word innovative. He's a very innovative OC, and he called his plays. He don't look up to Harbaugh to call the play and the distinguished play. He called all the plays. He designed that system for Lamar Jackson, and he can. So what he'll do is, he also did design that thing for Colin Kaepernick those years they went to the Super Bowl or whatever. That was him. That was Greg Roman, y'all. Check me out. Look, I ain't saying we're gonna draft somebody and bring somebody in so he can design a system for them. But if Matt Ryan do stick around, he can design a system for Matt Ryan. That's how innovative Greg Roman is. So if he come in and be the head coach, you will have an OC minded, offensive minded coach, and then you already have your quarterback. So he ain't just gonna try to make Matt Ryan run a Lamar Jackson offense. No, he would design a offense specifically for Matt Ryan's strength, and he would utilize it game in and game out for the weakest link on the other side of the ball. And that's the way you supposed to OC. That's the way you're supposed to call a game. I thought that's how you're supposed to do it. And you're not supposed to just try to impose your will on people. You go after the weakest link. Because some people ain't just finna let you impose their will on them. They finna impose it on you. So I'm my top candidate as of today. This might change. I might give y'all some more other candidates here later on in the season. But I'm stuck on Greg Roman, the OC over there at the Baltimore Ravens right now. And I just like him because he's innovative, man. He wants to invent and create and make his quarterback better and plays to his script. You got any coaches in mind, Mike? I mean, like I said, it's never too early to talk about it. We don't have a head coach right now. I mean, Raheem Morris is interim.
I think okay. So with Dimitrov, I hate to use like the Patriots filter, because I think we've done that, and I think we got bit by trying to recreate lesser models of other teams. We got Dimitrov to follow the New England Patriots model, which was or is currently the Super Bowl standard at that time and currently. But also in that, we went and got Dan Quinn, who was supposed to be kind of the defensive Super Bowl mentality from the Seattle Seahawks at that time. And I would say, to be honest with you, I would not mind taking another flyer on another Patriots. And for me, it is Josh McDaniel, offensive coordinator for the Patriots, for the simple fact that I think that not only with Tom Brady and Belichick and all of that kind of stuff, he understands how to get the best out of the players he has. Literally. He is not a coach that is so set in his ways that he is not willing to adjust or amend to what is best for the players. Not because, to be honest with you, this is a knock a little bit on Dirk Cutter from the fact that you're going to run Dirk's system, even though it's an iteration of Mike of Shanahan and all that other kind of stuff. It's still Dirk's plays. You know what I mean? Now, does Matt Ryan do a play action more or whatever? It's still Dirk Cutter's plays, right? So I look for somebody like a Josh McDaniels, or to your point, I do like the Roman idea for the simple fact that I do think that if I'm Arthur Blank right now, I am a fool to think that cap space would stop me from not properly evaluating Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. Point blank.
Right.
They're going to at least evaluate them, because when you have transitional talents, you really got to do the X and O's. And let me tell you something about the NFL. And if the New Orleans Saints will tell you anything, they will take the cap hit if they see the potential in that player. It's almost the same as us giving up all of those picks for Julio. I mean, it's not the same in terms of cap, but it was giving up a lot to risk reward, right? And I think, to be honest with you, the more I think about it, a Roman with I don't know, I won't even go Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence. A Roman with a Nance, a little spicy. I like that. So,
no
so
question about it, baby.
So to your point, I think that with a Roman, it's very interesting. I think that as high as we are on Bieniemy, I think that we will have talked about this guy so much that he won't even come in town. To your point, so I think a Roman, these other guys, maybe the guys you want to look at. But hey, you know what? We're gonna keep prognosticating until they give us one. But this is what's gonna be an interest. This is why y'all got to keep tuning in, pound for pound family. Y'all got to keep sharing, and subscribing. Because we're gonna do this with y'all. Y'all gonna throw them in the comments too. Shoot, like I said, we doing game prep for Minnesota, but we innovative too here at Pound for Pound, man. Hey, we got to
no question.
Yes, sir.
No question about it, Big Mike. And we're gonna keep bringing coaches up, man. Y'all, if y'all don't know some of these guys we bringing up, y'all go in and do y'all research on them, and let us know some things that we might not know about them. But we are in a coaching search. We are searching for a coach right now. I mean, what it is, man. Now let's get into the closing thoughts real quick before we get up out of here, Big Mike, man. It's Pound for Pound ATL, man. Y'all please like, share, and subscribe. It's your boy Jimbo Dean, aka Jimbo Slice. That Big Mike over there, man. Shout out to JR. Be ready for that live on Tuesday, man. We're coming around the corner here, big dog. It's flying, baby. So let's get into these closing thoughts. And my closing thoughts is what I was kind of reiterating what I was talking about earlier, and I'm gonna reiterate it, man. Don't be at practice. This is my closing thoughts. Raheem Morris, don't be at practice trying to make a player mad just to make them play better. That is real simple-minded. That is not the way this game's supposed to go. The player's supposed to come into the game, come into practice, and come into this atmosphere already ready to go. Get paid millions of dollars to do this. Get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to do this. You should love the game. You shouldn't need for your head coach, a grown man, to push another grown man to play hard in no game. That just sounds so ridiculous to me. I don't know what to tell you, big dog. Now, if you got to motivate them, that's a different story. But making them mad just to play hard, it sounded a little ridiculous to me. And that sounded like my middle school when we had this one player. He was really soft. But once we made him mad, he was a bulldog. That's middle school. That's junior high. That should be happening in the National Football League, okay? Atlanta Falcons, please, just go out there and play hard and play for some pride because you're being evaluated right now. And you don't need another grown man to make you mad in order to go out there and make a play. I cannot believe I am saying that, Big Mike. This is getting ridiculous. And they just keep coming out of Flowery Branch. And it just seems like it's a comedian show over there, man. Good God almighty. Anyway, that's my closing thoughts, big dog. What you got for me, man? Do I got to make you mad to give me your closing thoughts?
Nope. Okay. Because listen, like JR said, JR, I almost put JR in my closing thought because JR said that he took his blood pressure during the game, and the Falcons literally gave him high blood pressure during the game. So listen, y'all need to keep JR calm, first of all, Falcons. But listen, man, my closing thoughts this week is for our interim guy, Mr. Raheem Morris.
That's your boy.
I'm just gonna piggyback off what Jimmy said because what I'm saying, Jimbo Slice basically said that Raheem Morris has got to fuss at grown men who get paid a lot of money to want to play football. Okay, so if you're gonna fuss at him, Raheem, teach him how to bear hug. And you like, why bear hug? Because I see a lot of elbow tackles trying to get guys down to the ground. I don't see guys actually taking their arms and wrapping it around another man and getting these guys on the ground.
Right. What happened?
What's up? Deion Jones, I see you tackling with your wrist. You trying to hit people you trying to wrist tackle people. These are tackles I've never seen before. But that's what happened when you go 0-5, So my closing thoughts this week is it ain't a person, it's a process. And it's wrapping up. Please wrap up.
Yeah.
Please wrap up, Falcons. Please tackle the people to the ground. Please play to the whistle. Isaiah Oliver, we went the whole show without mentioning you, but we're going to mention you. If you are in the game and it's third down and you got to grab a guy, make sure he is down on the ground. And you hit a whistle till you hit a whistle,
I want to do that.
So for us, it's like, we're not going to get mad. anymore because there's not any. Like, it's a new week, man. New coach, new. Like we using words like innovative. It's an innovative week, so we're gonna stay innovative and stay calm, man. But Falcons, if y'all don't wrap up this week, that's gonna be what we lead off the Tuesday show with. So it's up to y'all to really keep it. The Falcons will dictate the content we create. If they don't give us nothing to talk about, then we ain't gonna talk about nothing. But you see, every week we got all this stuff to talk about. So if we wrap up this week, we'll see what happens next week. And, you know, and if we get a win, man, the closing thoughts will be a lot better. But when you're 0-5, the closing thoughts is just finish. And in the words of Al Davis, like we say, just win, man.
Just win, baby. Good God Almighty. Another show, another week. Me and Big Mike Dub over here at the Pound for Pound ATL. Shout out to JR. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. You can catch me on Twitter at Jimmy Obama. That's at Jimmy Obama. A lot of y'all have. Man, my followers been going up. My DMs been going off. I really appreciate it. Y'all tuning into this live this upcoming Tuesday. Appreciate the love last Tuesday, man. We really thought y'all weren't going to show up, but, man, y'all showed up and showed out, man, and I really appreciate it. You want to go and plug your stuff in that Big Mike before we get up out of here, big dog?
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Follow me on Twitter at your boy MIKE_DUB. That's Big Mike Dub. Holla at your boy. And again, to y'all that be DMing me, like I said, we here to get y'all Falcons news. I give y'all the number to some therapists that I know. I can't help you with some of that some of that others, you know, some of that stuff that going on. Right. But like I said, y'all keep liking, sharing, subscribing, hit that notification bell. I always love it, dog.
I always love, man. All right, I like Pound ATL. Like I always tell you, man. Y'all be safe, be frosty, man. Have your old cold pop, man, and wear your mask. We'll see y'all next week, man, on Pound ATL. Adios.